All right, let's talk about something that drives so many of us completely crazy. It's that feeling when you have all the data, all the metrics, all the dashboards, but your team still feels stuck, like they're spinning their wheels. We're going to get into why key performance indicators, or KPIs, are never the magic bullet for a dysfunctional team. I mean, does this picture look familiar to you? You've got the fancy dashboards all set up. You're tracking literally everything. The numbers are all there, glowing in bright green and angry red. And yet, people are still missing deadlines, communication feels like a total mess, and things just are not clicking. So what on earth is going on?
And this right here, this is the absolute core of it. You have to remember, KPIs are tools. That's it. They're like a hammer or a wrench in your toolkit. They are not a magic wand that you can just wave and poof, create a high-performing team out of thin air. Which brings us to something we can call the KPI paradox. You know, it's that totally weird and frustrating situation where having more and more data doesn't actually lead to better results. In fact, sometimes it can even make things worse.
I mean, let's walk through this story, because it happens in so many companies. You do everything by the book, right? You define your metrics, you get the fancy software, you track every little thing. But those deep underlying problems, the deadlines that just keep slipping, the awful communication, that nagging feeling that nobody's really taking ownership, they're all still there. Your shiny new dashboard just becomes a high-tech way of watching the same old problems happen in real time.
So here's the crucial point. Just because you can measure a problem doesn't mean you've solved it. All you've really done is created a crystal clear, high-definition picture of your team's dysfunction. You can see it, you can measure it, but you haven't fixed it.
So let's dig a little deeper now. Why is this metrics-only approach so flawed? Well, it's not actually about the numbers themselves. It's about everything the numbers can't see.
Think about it like this. KPIs are amazing at tracking behavior. They can tell you what was done, when it was done, and how often. But they are completely blind when it comes to culture. They have no way of telling you why something didn't get done, or how totally burned out the team feels, or whether everyone is truly on board with the mission, or if they're just checking boxes to hit a target.
And this is a really dangerous trap. You can have a team that on paper looks absolutely incredible. Every single KPI is green across the board. But just beneath that surface, the culture could be toxic, people could be secretly looking for new jobs, and engagement could be at rock bottom. Those good numbers can hide a whole world of hurt. And this gets to the heart of it all. What's the one thing that changes everything? It's trust. In a healthy team where people trust each other, KPIs are a support system. They're helpful guideposts. But in a low-trust team, whoa, that same dashboard becomes a surveillance system. Those numbers become weapons to blame people with, and that just creates fear and anxiety, totally killing any chance of real collaboration or improvement.
This is such a critical mindset shift you have to make. When you see a number that's off, your first instinct shouldn't be to demand that somebody fix it. Your goal should be to get curious. That number is an invitation to start a real conversation, to ask, hey, what's really going on here? What's getting in your way? Because without that dialogue, the data is basically meaningless.
So okay, if KPIs aren't the solution, then what is? Well, it's all about shifting our focus. We need to look away from the dashboard and look at the team itself. It's about fixing the foundation before you even start worrying about the measurements.
You know, the real reasons for dysfunction, they are almost never something you can find in the data. It's the human stuff. It's things like nobody being quite sure who owns what, so stuff just gets dropped. It's people pointing fingers at each other instead of solving the problem together. It's that feeling that everyone's working super hard, but they're all pulling in slightly different directions. See, that's not a data problem, it's a clarity problem. All right, so here's the game plan. These are the 5 foundational things you gotta fix. First up, clarity. Get roles, expectations, and workflows down on paper. No more guessing. Second, alignment. Make sure every single person understands the big picture and how their work fits in. Number 3 is mindset. Coach your team for ownership, for feeling empowered to solve problems, not just for hitting numbers. Fourth, and this is huge, is communication. You have to create a space where people feel safe enough to have honest, real conversations. And finally, number 5, leadership. You have to lead with curiosity and trust, not with command and control. I promise you, if you get these 5 things right, the KPIs will start to take care of themselves.
So let's bring this all home with a really simple but powerful analogy.
I want you to think of your KPIs as a mirror.
It's kind of like going to the doctor, right? The doctor runs some tests and gives you a diagnosis. That diagnosis tells you what's wrong, but the diagnosis itself doesn't heal you. Of course not. KPIs are just that, the diagnosis. The cure is everything you do after you get that information. It's the conversations, the changes you make, the focus on building a healthy team.
So, if you take away one thing, let it be this. The whole goal is to create a system where the metrics are there to serve the team. They should be a helpful tool that makes a healthy team even better, not a weapon you use to control a dysfunctional one.
So the next time you're looking at that dashboard and you start to feel frustrated, just pause. Resist that urge to demand better numbers. Instead, turn to your team and ask a much more powerful question. What's missing from how we work together? Go fix that first. That's where the real answers are.